Hello and welcome. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about the F chord and bar chords in general. So I always think about F in a certain way. I always think there's a nice easy F that we can play, which is great because if you want to play a chord change like G, C, F or something like that, then at least if you can play an easy F, then you're able to play that chord change. You can do. Sounds great and nobody's going to know any different. But there are times when you want to play a full F or even other chords, and in order to do that, that chord necessitates that you play a bar chord. So let's start off with the easy F because that's the first thing I think I would teach any student. So the way you play an F chord is you put the third finger on third fret on the fourth string, which is the D string. Then you put the second finger on the second fret at the third string or G string. And then you put the index finger kind of laying across these two strings here, the second and first string, the B and high E string. So you kind of lay that finger across two strings. So it sounds like that. So when you play the whole thing, it's going to sound like any chord. What we do is we play the chord, and then we play all the notes individually, and then we strum the chord and we make sure it sounds good. And if it doesn't sound good, if it sounds wrong, we have a look at the chord and we just have a look down and fix whatever might be wrong. So that's an easy F, and like I say, it sounds great. But let's take a look at how we play a full F using a bar chord. So what I would suggest here is you play an E chord, which is nice, there we go. And then instead of playing it with the first, second and third fingers, because you can see here your pinky is free, actually what you do is you play it with the second, third and fourth fingers. Now your index finger is free because you're not using it. And if you do it that way, and it's going to feel weird, by the way, the first time you try and play an E chord with the second, third and fourth fingers, it's going to feel a bit strange and it's going to take some time for you to feel normal doing that. But what I suggest is you play the E chord, then you move it all up a fret, and you try and put this finger as a bar on the first fret. So this index finger now, instead of playing an individual note, he's going to fret all of the strings on that first fret. So if you play it individually, you're going to get something like this. Strum it, it's going to sound like this. And a good change is to go from E to your new bar chord F. Sounds a bit Spanish actually, but that's a good thing. And I think the one thing I'd give you as advice here is that when you start playing a bar chord, it's going to take some time because this finger, the first time you do this, he's not going to be strong enough to hold down this really difficult string to hold down here, the E string, and these two here on the two high strings. And so it's going to find it hard. And basically what happens is if you keep playing it, and maybe it takes 3 hours or 6 hours or 10 hours, eventually you will play a bar chord perfectly. And you can play C to G to F, no problem. But it's going to take some time. And where I advise you to start off by learning an easy F, and then start off by playing E with these other fingers, not the first finger. And finally, when you've got your F, just keep playing it for half an hour, okay? Just keep strumming or picking or whatever you do, and half an hour later, your fingers are going to hurt coming off, but by the way, if you ever feel pain, you shouldn't continue. So take a 5-minute break if that ever happens. But just keep playing until the point where the chords are natural and it sounds normal. And from there, maybe the next day you come back, spend another half an hour playing it. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much.